Did the Timberwolves figure something out, or is it too little, too late? First of all, the main takeaway from this game, something I said before the series even started, Ant is a better matchup for Luka than Jaden McDaniels. Now, Luka could get buckets on anybody he wants to, but when it comes to the bullying stuff he's doing to McDaniels, he can't do that to Ant. It's something that was pretty obvious to me. Unfortunately, they waited until they were down 3-0 to put Ant on Luka, and again, it's not like Ant's gonna be the Luka stopper, but I do feel like he can make him work much more than McDaniels did. Also, maybe the person that has defended Luka the best in this series so far, Kyle Anderson. But are we overthinking it, and was it just as simple as Ant and Cat finally hit some shots? For Ant, it might actually be that simple. The first 2 games combined, Ant only took a total of 3 mid-range jumpers. The last 2 games combined, he's taken 18 mid-range jumpers. And you would say that would help simplify the game for him, although he still had 6 turnovers in this game. So if you're looking at the box scores, it's not going to seem like it, but he's been a lot more under control relying on that mid-range jumper. So much so, he took this shot, what I would call a Steph Curry shot, up 5, 1 minute, 26 seconds left on the clock. And you can tell by the reaction of the assistant coaches on the sideline, they did not like the shot. Wait 5, 6 more seconds. The only way the Mavericks can win this game is if you give them time. And if you're going to take a contested pull-up mid-range jumper, why not wait 7, 8 more seconds? And we've seen how close this game ended up being at the end. And yeah, coming from a Steph Curry fan, Steph Curry, my second favorite player of all time, he does this all the time, and I hate it every single time he does it. You are actively giving the other team a chance they otherwise wouldn't have had.
How can you execute up 5 here? Well, you take your time. Had to have a foul to give. Steph for 3. Got it! Of course. The closer. The layup.
Luckily for them, it didn't end up costing them, and on the next possession, Anthony Edwards took a similar mid-range pull-up, but this time with only 1 second left on the clock. So for Ant, I don't really see much too different besides him leaning on that mid-range jumper more, which is a positive. But as for Cat, to me it seemed like there was a lot less freelancing going on. And that's the type of player Cat is. As a coach, you have to keep him occupied. We all know from any level of basketball, even just playing at the park with your friends, you know when someone has that one specific assignment, that one specific thing they're supposed to do on this play, they can execute it perfectly. But if you're just standing out there, he'll get lost. And that's Cat. You have to give him something to do, and I feel like Chris Finch did more of that in this game. There was much less Cat just catching the ball, not knowing what he's gonna do next. And to be fair to Cat and to be fair to Chris Finch, I feel like that went for the whole team actually. So even Ant, there was less of just, Ant just roll the ball out there. There was more plays being called in this game for Minnesota, and that's the type of team they are. They need a real coach orchestrating them. They don't have a Luka. And that is not a Jason Kidd shot. Trust me, you guys know what I'm saying. You have a Luka, you have a LeBron, you have a James Harden. You just roll the ball out there and they're gonna make majority of it up as they go. Maybe Ant will be at that level one day, but he's not there quite yet. Something else we've seen in this game with Ant being on Luka more, we've seen McDaniels guard Kyrie a little bit more, which I said before the series started that I believe that is the better matchup because Luka likes to go through you, Kyrie wants to go around you. If someone's trying to go around you, harder to do that with long arms, right? Just makes sense. And I would not be surprised if Kyrie drops 40 game 5. Wouldn't be surprising at all. I just like that matchup a little bit more. We also seen Slow-Mo guarding Kyrie a bit in this game. Now him guarding Luka, I feel like we all could have seen that coming. Makes sense. Slow on slow. Makes sense. But him staying in front of Kyrie was a little bit shocking. And again, will not be surprised if Kyrie drops 40 game 5. But with someone like Kyrie, you're not really gonna contain his dribble. So it's about when he gets the shot off, can he actually contest it? And Slow-Mo and McDaniels have been able to do that a little bit better than Ant. But now going forward, going back to Minnesota, how do we feel about this series? Because I feel like, and Dallas fans, let me know if I'm wrong, I feel like Minnesota has outplayed Dallas for a lot of this series. None of that matters when you're down 3-0. No one remembers that, right? But especially in games 1 and 2, and more specifically 1, I felt like Minnesota was the better team, but they're down 3-1. But now Dallas doesn't have who had been their 3rd best player in this series, and I should have mentioned Derek Lively a lot sooner. I do believe they're missing Lively on defense, right? I believe that. I believe Cat and Rudy feel a little bit more free going into the paint without Lively being there. But I actually feel like they're missing him more on the offensive side of the ball. There's a lot of times where Gafford gets the ball and doesn't really know where he's going with it, where Lively has been a lot better in that situation. And I don't want to make it seem like Gafford was terrible in this game. He had some amazing moments, he had some bad moments, he was fine in this game. But it does make it a little bit easier to defend that pick and roll with Luka when it's Gafford or Powell. It seems like it's a lot easier to confuse Gafford in that spot as opposed to Lively, but maybe I'm wrong. Mavericks fans, let me know. But I believe this is going at least 6. I feel like Cat has found his groove a little bit, especially if Lively misses game 5 and Cat is feeling more comfortable on these drives where he's been pretty good. When he's not out of control, he's been pretty good on drives. I'm really trying to convince myself that Minnesota can really pull this off, really come back from 3-0, be the first team in NBA history. But I don't see them out executing Luka 3 games in a row. I feel like the way this would have to happen is a blowout in game 5, just a complete blowout in game 5, which I feel like would not be surprising. We've seen Minnesota just be overwhelming at times. I would not be surprised at all if they won game 5 by 20. I'm not saying that's gonna happen. Just saying it would not be surprising. And then like a tough fought game 6, and then who knows what would happen game 7 in Minnesota. I still would probably favor Luka in any closing situation, but it's definitely possible. This isn't the typical down 0-3. And if Lively's not gonna come back, it changes so much just for their confidence, right? The Wolves' confidence going inside the paint, even though Gafford had some crazy blocks in this game. You could see they just feel more comfortable attacking Gafford. If Lively's in there, we probably get some more bad Cat step back threes. And part of the reason Dallas has been so effective in guarding Cat is because PJ Washington and whoever's on Cat just feels so comfortable guarding him so aggressively because they know if Cat gets by me, Lively's back there, he's gonna clean it up. Or even Gafford's back there, he's gonna clean it up. But without Lively, Cat's, his thought process changes a bit. He's not gonna settle as much. Now that could be a good or a bad thing, In process, it's a bad thing, but he can hit 7 threes in a game and all of a sudden process doesn't matter. So I feel like most likely outcome of this series is Dallas wins it in 6, but I would not be shocked at all if this series went to 7. You guys let me know in the comments down below how you see this series turning out. Let me know in the comments what you've seen, what you found interesting in this game. I love learning from you guys as well, so let me know in the comments down below. And by the way, we did just hit 2.5K, so I appreciate you guys for that on this road to 5K. So if you guys would be kind enough to subscribe, I would greatly appreciate that. It means a lot. And I'm trying to keep the momentum going, so yeah, thank you guys. And also drop a like, drop a comment, let me know what you're thinking in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, I'm out. Peace.